up and going. I guess we will see here in a minute once we... All right, looks like I am live. Maybe. How's the audio? Is it too quiet? If anybody's out there, can you hear me? Is the audio too quiet? I don't know if... we quiet? Okay. A little bit of latency going on my end, so we are going to kill that. And sorry, a little sloppy this morning. Hey, how's it going? Good evening. Oh, good evening. We still got afternoon here, so I don't know where you're at. Let me kill this. There we go. So, can you hear me okay? Is the audio all right? I'm still I keep saying this every time, but I'm still new at the whole streaming thing, so my audio seems to be okay on my end. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet on your end. Hello. Pizarro25, how you doing? Hope everybody's having a good day today. I don't really have anything planned for this. I figured I'd just get on here and chat. Got a few projects I'm working on. Thought maybe I would show those off. But how are you guys doing today? Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just trying to make sure everything looks okay. Will there be a video about Nuri Window Manager? Yes, there actually will be. That's what I have right here. I don't know if you can tell that by any means, but that's what I'm actually running right now. If we launch a terminal here. Let's see here. Run a NeoFetch. You can see right there I'm running the Nuri, or I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm running that. I heard a lot of things about Wayland. You know, I've stuck with X11 for, well, the entirety of my career. I went off onto Hyperland for a little bit, but I've stuck with X11, and I've started reading a little bit more, and everybody keeps talking about how Wayland's getting better and this and that, and so I thought, you know, maybe we'll go ahead and give it a shot. So I didn't want to go the whole Hyperland route because that seems to be what everybody's doing, and nothing against that, but I did have that video how to install Hyperland in 10 minutes, but I didn't want to use Hyperland because I wanted to get something else out there, and I kept hearing about Nuri from people here and there and how great Nuri was, and so I figured, you know, let's go ahead and give that a shot and see what that's all about. And I gotta tell you, I'm super impressed with it. There's a few hiccups here and there that I've got, some things I'm not really crazy about. I'm working on workarounds that, because I can't seem to find a fix for them in the documentation. But for the most part, this is been a great compositor so far. It's pretty fast. It's sleek. It's got the animations. In fact, I have custom animations. You can actually write your own animations. You know, I know in Hyperland you can do the Bezier curve or whatever, and you can change your animation and this and that. But on Nuri, I'm not gonna go into it right now because I really don't know. It takes me a long time to write an animation, but I've written a few animations to a few different things. Like if we close out this window here, you can see it kind of falls off the bottom. If I open a new one, it drops in from the top. Just kind of some funky animations. I thought it'd be cool if we could do that. It uses, I think, OpenGL shader. I don't know what the language actually is, but you basically have to write all that. But it's super cool. I like the way they set up the workspaces as opposed to having 10 or 11 or 12 workspaces. You have infinite workspaces. I mean, you can keep going and going and going, and every new window you launch, it just goes along this row here. If you want to have, this is on the first quote unquote workspace. If I hit Super 2, that'll drop me down to the second workspace, Super 3 down to the third one, and you can have as many as you want. It'll just keep going and going and going, and you can have as many windows open as you want. You can resize them. If I do, let's say Mod F, we'll put one to full screen. Mod R, we'll shrink it down to a different size. I can do Mod minus and Mod plus, Mod Shift minus and plus. It's super cool. I will have an actual video out on it before too terribly long. I got to get my bearings in it though. I've just started playing with it and everything, but I had another request on DWL. So I've been playing around in that as well. So I've just been kind of going back and forth. But yeah, Nuri is great. Is it better than Hyperland? Well, it depends on how you want me to answer that. I could answer it yes with an if or no with a but. It's better in some ways, and there's some ways where it lacks. I'm struggling with when I launch like Brave browser and I try to click on a download link, it will not open a download link. No matter what I do, I can't download anything. I can't click on links, none of that stuff. Whereas Hyperland, that all works out of the box. And I believe on Hyperland that has to do with XDG Desktop Portal Hyperland and how it handles that feature in Brave. In Firefox, everything works great. So I can do everything I need to in Firefox on Nuri. But if I'm trying to use Brave, I can't open up download links. I can't click to download them. It won't bring up my file picker to ask me where I want to download it to. Any of that stuff, it just fails. And if I run the verbose command or to get my output in my terminal when I run Brave, it tells me it failed. XDG Desktop Portal fails. So that's one thing. Global key bindings, I haven't quite figured out global key bindings yet on Nuri, whether they work or whether they don't work. So I don't know about that. I know how to do it on Hyperland. But I will say the one thing I like about Nuri, one of the things I like about Nuri over Hyperland is the fact that it's really not as intrusive. Hyperland seems to be getting super, super big, which is not, I don't say that as a bad thing. It's becoming a whole, it's becoming a whole deal. It's almost like it's becoming a desktop environment, a KDE or a Cinnamon or whatever. You have all these different things, all these different programs. It's almost becoming its own ecosystem, which is great. But as you start adding things and start doing stuff, it really becomes a monster. And pretty soon you start getting into the realm of, okay, I want to install Hyperland, but if I want to do that, I have to do this. If I want to have that, I have to have this. So I don't really like that about Hyperland. I haven't noticed that yet on Nuri, but we'll see if that's the case. But this guy's done a great job. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but I think it's Yalter, or however you want to say it, or however you pronounce it. Maybe I'm completely butchering that. I don't know, but it's definitely, in my opinion, a step in the right direction from Hyperland. It's another viable option in the Wayland compositor market. I know there's Sway, which is great. I haven't used Sway much. Ravish Success has retracted his messages. Hopefully he hasn't left. If he has, sorry, bud. Let me know what I can do to do things better and make you stick around. But anyway, so to answer the question, is it better than Hyperland? Yes and no. There are things that I definitely like better about it than I like Hyperland. I don't really, that's the thing. I can't say I don't like Hyperland, but I'm tired of Hyperland. I've said this before, and it's not their fault, but it's just I'm tired of it. So this is a nice, fresh breath of fresh air having Nuri. Hey, Darloff, how's it going? Yes, wet afternoon is right. It is pouring. In fact, I found out last night as I was wandering around my house that I've got a wet spot on the ceiling in my master bathroom and a wet spot on the ceiling in my garage. So I was up in my attic at 6 o'clock this morning with the rain pouring down, trying to figure out where I was leaking. So yes, it is wet. Can a new window spawn on the left? Yes, you can spawn windows on either side, Ollie. It just depends on, like, let's see here. Say I have a window open here, and we'll say this is window 1, and then I open another window, and this is window number 2. If you're talking to the left, like if I want to open a window between 1 and 2, all I have to do is put my focus back on window 1, and I can launch another one, and I'll have window 3, and you can see that window 3 is between window 1 and window 2. That is how you can get something on the left. You can't be on the very first screen. Like if you just went onto a workspace and you launched a window, and you launched a window or a client, and then you launch another one, it is automatically going to launch to the right. You have to put the focus, if you have more than one window open, you put the focus to the one on the left, and then it will open to the right of that one, which will put it to the left of the second one. I know that's convoluted. You can swap places with windows if that's what you're talking about doing. So swapping places is, let me see if I can remember this. Sorry, again, I'm new at all this. If I do super bracket, no, that's going to absorb it into the stack. But if I absorb it in and then go again, it'll move it to the left. So if I do super bracket, it will move them across and just keep absorbing things into different piles. So you can. There's so much you can do these. I'm really excited about this compositor. I'm really looking forward to playing around with this thing some more. The configuration file is a little strange. I like to modularize my configuration files usually and put key bindings one. You can't do that with the Nuri file configuration file. It's a KDL file, which is what could I compare it to? I guess kind of like JSON, maybe. I don't know, kind of. But basically, everything has to be in one file, and it basically just reads everything out of that file. It can be in any order you want it to be. There's no distinct order that the file has to be in, but you do have to have everything in one file. So I'm just learning the syntax and all that as well, but I'm really looking forward to this. This is a really cool compositor. I really like it, and as long as I can get the few bugs either fixed or figured out or create a workaround for them on my own, I'm going to be sticking with this one for a while. It's really cool. Jose, yes, I am still using Void. There is not going to be a change in that for the foreseeable future. I have no plans on leaving Void at any point in time. It's just been so rock solid for me with... I hate to say this because I'll have to knock on wood here, but I haven't had a failure. I haven't had a problem. I mean, I haven't had a problem that wasn't my own fault or my lack of understanding or my ignorance on something. It's taken me a while to figure some things out on a couple things, but for the most part, it is just so rock solid. There's no way I have any reason to leave. So yes, I am definitely still using Void. Darloff, still raining here. You're about an hour east of me. All right, so you're over towards the East Coast, huh? North or southern side? Excuse me, sorry. Good. I'm glad you got it. I was hoping that wasn't too convoluted and poorly explained on my end. So, what GTK and Qt theme do you use? Well, we can actually, let's see here again. If I'm doing, I think it's what is the? It's not LX appearance because that's for. Let's see here, but this is the same thing as what I'm using. So I'm using Cloudy Dark Gray for that stuff. My icon themes, don't shoot me, but Windows 10 icons, I like them. I like them a lot. I do have some other ones. I have Stormtrooper here, which is pretty cool. I have Greystone. I have Breeze Dark. I'm really working on just creating a whole theme for my system, which is why I have the Greystone and the Stormtrooper, because they somewhat match my color scheme that I'm going for. But it's just something I don't have a whole lot of time, so I work on it when I can. Qt, I don't have a Qt theme. I do have, what is it? Qt5 CT, I think is yeah, Qt5 CT, and it won't even launch on this. So anyway, um, I don't have a Qt theme. For the most part, I just kind of leave things as they are when I'm goofing around with stuff like that. But anything I can theme on my own, I do. But you know, the things like that, that's what I'm using. Bledley, hey, all a little late here. Which window manager are we looking at here? This is the Nuri Compositor, Bledley, and welcome to the stream, by the way. It's one I was just talking about how impressed I am with this thing. It's definitely a contender against Hyperland. Hyperland is a little more polished, obviously. There's a few things in Hyperland that I'm struggling to get functioning on this, but I will choose this over Hyperland any day. And like I was just talking about a few minutes ago, strictly because of the workspace setup and the scrolling layout. Tiling window managers, I like tiling window managers because I can have workspaces. The tiling portion of it, I usually don't have more than 2 windows open on a workspace at a time, so that really kind of defeats the purpose. And even when I do, it annoys me that one's smaller. With this setup here, I can have full screen and just scroll through. It's also got Xinerama view, which if I go up into the corner there, you can see it pans back. You can scroll down, you can move through, and you can select which window you want to come up. So it's really cool. It is a really impressive window manager. I'm looking forward to actually building a full-on video on this, and once I get everything set up and everything, and just kind of show you how impressive it is. And like I said, as long as I can get those few kinks worked out or workarounds for them, I'm gonna be pretty well happy on this, I think. Torsten, welcome, dude. Haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Finally caught alive. Yeah. There's only been a few of them, but and they're all still pretty. Let's just say they need some work. But welcome, glad to have you here. How's life for you? Excuse me while I drink some coffee here. So Bledley, Hyperland, interested to see the differences. What is it about Hyperland? Everybody talks about the animations and all that. I get that. I get how sleek you can make it. I get all the cool stuff you can do. Is there something that most people don't know about on Hyperland, or maybe that's not a really highlighted feature on Hyperland that really keeps you there? Or is it just the aesthetics of it, the fact that it's Wayland and that it's, you got all the cool animations and stuff you can do? I'm just curious if everybody sticks with it strictly because of how customizable and the animations, or if there's something behind the scenes that people are really liking on that. Awesome. I started using it most probably after watching your videos. Thanks. Installed it on USB stick. Jose, are you talking Void? I'm assuming that's what you're talking. That's awesome. I'm glad you did. I hope it's been as enjoyable of an experience for you as it has for me. Again, it's just been I've used several different distributions, and Void has definitely been the only one, including Arch, the only one that I have really got to the point to where it's like, man, I don't want to leave. Even when I was on Arch and thought, man, this is home, this is where I want to be. Excuse me one sec. Sorry, hopefully that muted my mic and you didn't just hear me cough and hack in the microphone. What was I saying now? So yeah, Void I have literally no desire. I mean, there's been different distributions. People have said, oh, you should check this out. And it's like, yeah. And I open it up in a VM or something and I play around with it. And it's just like, man, I just got to be in Void. So you're still using Herps, Torsten? Yes, I still have a beautiful Herps Lift configuration on my system. My issue is I run into an issue with dual screens, dual monitors, and streaming. So I do use it in my off time. I'm playing around strictly not in Hyperland, in Nuri right now in Wayland, mainly because being on a laptop, I've heard that Wayland has better power management and better battery life, which so far I've noticed to be true. But yes, Herps Lift is always going to have a place in my heart. It is always going to be probably my favorite window manager. out of everything, animation having or not. I just love the way it's built and I like the way it runs. So it is definitely a great pick, and I'm glad you're still with it because I find very few people who still like Herb's Lift as much as I do. You played around with Sway lately. How is Sway? I used i3 briefly on the, so I'm assuming it's pretty similar to that. And Hyperland, yeah, I think everybody and their brother has dabbled in Hyperland. So Kudo is the most complete window manager, and you can turn off animations if you don't like them. So, oh, okay. So you're talking about Hyperland. Okay. Well, that's cool. I get that. Now, when you say complete, are you talking about feature rich? Like once you install it, you just go, it does everything for you. Are you talking about complete? Like you can basically build an entire system out of it. Maybe I'm not grasping what you're saying, but would you mind kind of elaborating on that? I think I've got an idea of what you're saying, and I get it. Like I said, Hyperland's a great project. It's really grown. It's got all kinds of stuff. I'm just kind of curious about when you say most complete Windows manager, what exactly you mean. So, are there any packages you recommend to have in the system, especially for hardware and compositors? As far as I know, Nuri is not WRoots based. Do Wayland tools cause problems? I have yet to see. I'm trying to think here. I have yet to run into problems. I do have WLRoots installed for Nuri. Let's do this. I think I've got a. Maybe if we go to the. Not Compositot, but hey, that'll get us there anyway. If we go to the wiki, wiki's the open source, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Do they have an about? No. Let's go back here. Getting started. Okay, windows are arranged in columns. Let's see if it says anything about... I apologize for I don't have a whole lot of answers on Nuri yet. Like I said, I've just kind of started playing with it. I got a configuration file that's working and that I like. I'm not super familiar with the documentation yet. I haven't gone through much of it, so I'm not completely up to speed on the ins and outs of it yet. So I don't know how to respond on that one. I haven't had any issues. Like I said, the main issue I've had is with Brave and not being able to click download links. As far as tools causing problems, I haven't had any problems on anything yet. You have to install XDG Desktop Portal GNOME and to do any type of screen sharing and stuff like that, whereas Hyperland, you have to have XDG Desktop Portal Hyperland. XDG Desktop Portal WLRoots is not required, but you do have to have Desktop Portal and Desktop Portal GNOME. I know I had to do that. And get those fired up. So with Hyperland, I turn the fancy animations off. Personally, no gaps, borders. The suite of hyper tools are quite useful. That's cool. Yeah, I could look into that a little bit more. Borders, yeah, animations I could live with or without. I'm not. Like I said, if you saw the video from the beginning here so far of the stream, I did make custom animations on Nuri just because you can, and so I thought it would be kind of cool. So yeah, but animations don't sell me on a system. The gaps, I do got to have a little bit of a gap just because my eyes are old and trying to decipher between windows sometimes is difficult. So a narrow border and some gaps helps me personally. But again, like I said, I don't like to have a lot of windows open on one screen. And with Nuri, I can just scroll through them because I can have full screen all the way and just pan left or right. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, Herb's Lift users that are also on Void. We might be like 5 guys on the planet. I don't know. Yeah, I think 5 would be pretty generous. I don't know that there's that many left, which is sad because I think a lot of people missed out on or are missing out on a great window manager when they just kind of bypass herps. But Herbie, it's been around for a long time. I hope it stays around because I will continue to use it myself. Maybe they'll venture over to Wayland from their documentation. I don't think they have any plans to, but who knows what will happen. Eugenius, hi Jake. Do you do any gaming? No, I don't do any gaming. Every once in a while, I sit down with my son and I play some Xbox, but I don't do any gaming. Not for lack of enjoyment in it, because I do enjoy playing a video game every now and then. But to be honest with you, when I do, it's usually I sit down with my oldest and either play some Xbox or I'll sit down with my younger two, and I have one of the SNES Minis, that they came out with a few years back. And I hacked that thing and put about 300 games on that. So I'll do some retro gaming, play some Mario Brothers and all that. But I've said this before, and I feel like I'm making excuses, or like people are like, yeah, shut up, everybody's busy. But I can't stress how full, for lack of a better term, life is, with work and school and family and activities for the kids and church and everything. It's just life gets going, and before I know it, it's the end of the week again, and it's like, man. So no, I don't have any gaming under my belt. At some point, maybe when life slows down, I'll pick it up, but we'll see. So Tristan, I like these animations. Which ones? Are you talking about the ones on Torsten? Are you talking about the ones on Hyperland, or which animations are you talking? Dimitri, hey, glad to see you on live stream. One of the problems with Hyperland and Wayland is IntelliJ, not all features work as well. Also, J console can't run without backport X11. It's sad, but Hyperland, one love. Nice. Yeah, I haven't gotten into... Actually, you know what? Maybe... Did I? Not on Nuri, because like I said, I haven't been on it long enough, but I seem to remember something going on. Maybe it was IntelliJ? I don't know. I don't use IDEs very often, IntelliJ or VS Code or anything like that. With school, every once in a while I have to, because they want us to do something, and they have all the instructions on how to do it in like VS Code, and you got to have certain settings and this and that. And since it'll be for like one project or one assignment, I don't want to take the time to try and go through and set up Vim or Emacs to do what they want me to do. So I just will have, I think I have IDEA and VS Code. I have VS Code on my main machine, and I have IDEA in a lab environment on my school's server. So I haven't run into those issues, but maybe I'll take a look at that. I'm going to be testing Nuri for a while. Like I said, who knows? It might not be a test. It might turn into a full-time use, because I do really enjoy the way it works. But East Coast, nah, I'm in Northwest Arkansas. Darloff, hey, you're right in my neck of the woods. You're an hour east of me in Northwest Arkansas. So where would that put you? I don't know. I'm trying to think what an hour east of me would be. There's not much here. East Coast. No, I'm in Northwest Arkansas. Where? Boy. I don't know. I won't make you, I'm not going to have you put it out there on the web, but now I'm curious, because I didn't realize you were that close to me. So, oh, okay. Well, Berryville. There you go. Yeah, what's funny though is, Darloff, I came from the Pacific Northwest, Seattle area, so it's about 8 years ago. And before I moved down here, when I tell people I'm moving to Arkansas, they get your banjo, and you're gonna marry your cousin, and all those jokes and yada yada yada. And it's funny because you come down here and people don't realize, people might understand that Walmart is from this area, but we got Walmart, we got Tyson. We got all kinds of these large corporations. When you come to the Northwest Arkansas area, I mean, there's a lot of money here. And it's funny because people just think backwoods podunk, and you get down here and they're not thinking $1 million houses. And my son is just beside himself because he sees so many Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all kinds of stuff running around here. And he talks to his cousin who still lives back home in the Seattle area, and he's like, we don't have all those up here, and so it's just kind of funny. Now I get it. If you go if you go towards central or southeastern Arkansas or whatever, you get out there, you're getting away from everything. But in this little corner of the state, it's really, um, it's funny. It's not the podunk people think of when they hear Arkansas. So it's kind of funny. Oh, I don't know why this just jumped in my head, but side note, I've been working on my FZFM, my Fuzzy File Manager script, and I thought maybe you guys want to check it out and tell me what you think. I've got some functionality built in. It's not done yet, but I do have some more functionality. I'm really working on it. I really want this thing to be a good build. Excuse me one second. I'm going to climb underneath the table here. I forgot to plug in my laptop, and if you can see up in the corner, my battery's going to die. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to disappear under the table for a minute. All right. That is better. Sorry about the very unprofessional. Let's see here. Battery almost discharged. Set up Pomodoro. I have pretty much last time I was discharging. Then Dimitri, I really have thought about it. I've tried to get into Pomodoro, and I need to because I overwork my brain a lot. And I need to learn to take a break because once I start overworking it, then I stop retaining everything that goes in. It's like it goes in one ear and falls out the other. And so I really need to work on how I study and everything. But I get in that mindset where I've got X amount of time, I got to get X amount done. And I would really like to. I need to get something out, but we'll see. Let's see here. Torsten, there are plans to transform Herbalift into something that works with both X11 and Wayland. The main devs just lack the time to get to it properly. Oh, that's awesome. I haven't been on and checked things out in a while. Last I read, they didn't have any plans to do that. But if they've got plans on doing that, that's awesome. Then maybe with Red Hat dropping X11 support. Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a lot of, I won't say a lot of people, but there's a lot of talk about, now it's been the talk for 20 years or so now. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry. Let me know if that's not actually muting and I am coughing in your ear. I apologize. I'll mute it manually instead of trying with the button here. But anyway, people have been saying Wayland's the next thing for the past 20 years, and I think there's actually been strides. And and if I'm being completely honest with you, I think the guys like Vaxry, who I know a lot of people don't like. Again, I don't get into the drama, so I'm just throwing them out there because guys like Vaxry, guys like Yalter, who are creating Nuri, the Cosmic Desktop, all these different people that are actually putting into the ecosystem now and who are actually building it to be as diverse as you have on X11, having options that you have on X11. I think that's really lit a fire, and people are starting to take notice of that. And I do think, and don't quote me, and I'm not sitting here saying, in the next year everybody's going to be on Wayland, but I do think that has kind of lit a fire and maybe built up some steam in the engine, and I think Wayland is going to start moving a little faster now. Do I think X11 is going anywhere anytime soon? No, but I do think you're going to see a lot more shift over to Wayland. I didn't realize Red Hat was they're completely dropping X11 support. That's pretty... That's ballsy, for lack of a better term, but that's pretty crazy. Ahmed Nasser, thanks to YouTube for. Oh, awesome, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad YouTube recommended me as well. I'm always surprised when they do. I'm small potatoes, and with all the other content creators out there that are doing the same thing, that are light years beyond me, I'm glad to see that it still grabs me and throws my name out there every once in a while. Bazite on my PC is a game changer. Bazite, how is that? I'm assuming you're a gamer, because isn't that that's a gaming distro, right? Like with Nobara and all that, that's specifically set up for gaming. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the case. Torsten, the Nurian, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I just kind of was curious if I could do something. I actually Googled, was looking at some other people's configuration files, and I found one somewhere. I wish I could remember where, because I would recommend the guy's configuration files. But I found one that was similar, not quite the same. It spun in a little more, then fell. But it kind of gave it the look that it was falling, but then it just kind of faded out when you closed it. And I thought it'd be kind of cool if it fell in from the top and fell out from the bottom. So then I Googled how the shaders work and what language they're written in or whatever when I looked at his, and found it was this and that. And so literally it took me a long time. But I do have a few. I've got some different fades in and out that are, different. But so thanks. The falling windows was kind of nice. I liked that. Thanks for streaming. Cheers. Happy Memorial Day to you as well. Absolutely. I do enjoy streaming. I'm still really new at it, and things are sloppy, and it takes me a bit to get things going. But and hopefully I don't sound like a robot this time. I do only have one mic, one audio source turned on. My last stream, for half the stream, I had 2 audio sources turned on, and I sounded like RoboCop apparently, and that was just embarrassing. So. Happy to stream. I really enjoy doing it. I like chatting with you guys. I just got to do it a little more and get a little better at it, so it's not so, horrible, I guess, on my end. Mic was off. Good. I'm glad. I always worry because, the light says it's off and it says it's muted, but I always feel like, dang, if something's up and I'm hacking in your ear, that's just embarrassing as well. Wayland is the future. I love Wayland, but I'm not satisfied with the current implementations of Wayland. Wayland may be nice and ease, but Xorg window managers are superior to Wayland compositors. Agree and disagree. I do believe that Xorg window managers are still more polished. There's a lot that's going in the way of Wayland compositors, and things are coming along, but there's obviously far more bugs as well. Xorg window managers, they're stable. They're tried and true. You just gotta pile things on top of them, compositors and all that. If you want certain functionality. But Wayland does have its pitfalls too. Wayland is a little buggy at times. There's stuff that just doesn't work. You have to find some workarounds for it. So there's a trade-off right now. I do think that trade-off is getting smaller and smaller. And at some point in the somewhat near future, and let's see how vague I can be here. How vague I can be here. Some point in the near future, the trade-off is going to switch, and we're going to see that Xorg is struggling a little where Wayland is improving and becoming the choice. Now, when's that going to be? I don't know, but I do think it's coming. If they drop Wayland, I'll go buy some new GPUs. Well, I just don't like that most of them are WL roots based. Wayland can be better and far more minimal and efficient than that. Yeah, something will come up. They'll, if enough people scream, I guess. One thing I've learned in life is if you make enough noise, then people tend to listen whether they want to or not. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm just saying I've learned that in my almost 50 years of being on this planet, that people have found if they scream loud enough, or if enough people yell, then something gets done. Squeaky wheel gets the grease type of thing. Let's see here. That prompt setup you got is so clean. Oh, thank you. That is a custom prompt. Everybody uses the Starship. I decided I don't want the Starship. I'll just create my own. So that is just created in my Bash RC. Let's see here, CD into... If I can type, I'm trying to reach around my mic and everything. Sorry. Let's do. I CD in projects, and then it's languages. That's right. Yeah, I don't even know my own file structure, and then I CD into Python. I got a couple little things added on here. Well, maybe not in that one. Which one was it? Let's CD into that one's not going to do it. I do have it set up if I get into a directory that is written in, well, let's see if it goes in my Java. Probably not. I'm probably doing this for no good reason, and everybody's going to laugh at me, but we'll see. Yeah, it doesn't do it there too. Anyway, I do have it set up to where, oh yeah, it does right there. Did it do it on the Python too, and I just didn't see it? Nope, I haven't done it in Python yet. But you can see right here, if I'm in a directory that's all Java, I've got Java. If I'm in a directory that is a Git repo, it'll give me my status there with some the branch and all that. So I do have a little bit of bling set up in it. I just wanted something minimal. I didn't want to install something else. If you've watched my channel for any period of time, you'll know I like to try and do things myself instead of install somebody else's program. Not that there's anything bad about installing other people's programs. It's just like, I wonder if I can do that. I'm just curious. And so I go ahead and I give it a shot on my own. So yeah, I built that prompt probably several years ago, and I've stuck with it. So it's nice. I like it. Nice and minimal, but gives me all the stuff I need to know. So, woo, it's Jake. Yes, it is me. Welcome. I am alive. I know it's been almost 3 weeks since my last video, but I am still alive. So that's a good thing. Also multi-stream on Twitch because Twitch chat is awesome, and I play it in my IRC client. I've never used Twitch. Let's put it to a poll here. You guys watching, how many of you guys actually use Twitch or watch Twitch, and do you think I should maybe migrate over there as well? Give me a 1 if you think so, or a no or a 0 if you don't think so. That'll be easy enough. No. That's what's his name, Primogen. We don't want to copy Primogen. Just a yes or no is fine. Yes, I should go on Twitch as well, and no, I should not go on Twitch as well. That's a better idea. Trying not to copy people. I said something in one of my install videos a while back, something about Chicago being my time zone, and somebody was like, "Oh, a DT reference." It's like, well, crap. I'm not trying to copy everybody. I'm just trying to make a video here. So hopefully guys don't think I'm copying other YouTubers. It's kind of hard not to, though. Also, okay, I already read that. Jake, did you get a chance to watch PewDiePie show off his rice? I did not. I started to watch the video, and then I didn't get into it. I'm going to say that this might be a big I don't know, a big jolt for the Linux community, and it might not be. I've been reading some of the reviews back and forth on people talking about PewDiePie switching to Linux, and some people are like, it's awesome, he's using Linux, and other people are like, why the heck would he switch? He's a gamer. Why would he switch from, and I think he's a gamer. I think that's what they were saying. But anyway, why would he switch over to Linux? Linux is trash. So I've kind of seen both sides of it. I think he's got fans on both sides of the fence, and so I think it might, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. It's always interesting when a channel that large latches on to something like this. So we'll just kind of see what goes on, and I'll just stay in my little corner and watch it all play out. How did his rice look, by the way? Did he do it all himself, or did he copy somebody's dots or something, or just out of curiosity? Is it a custom build? Come on. Thanks. I try to keep my setup looking nice. Like I said, it's like an office. If you're going to be spending as much time on your computer as you are, you at least want it to be nice to look at. So people that say, customizing your desktop, or, and I hate this word, ricing your desktop is a waste of time. I disagree for the most part. You can get a little carried away, but I disagree. If it's something you're going to be staring at for hours on end, throughout the day, you may as well like what you're looking at. So, it's going to be a positive influence, and it's going to give you a positive mentality. So, I have that problem when streaming too. Have to reach. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of room here, so I've got things set up to where I can get to everything, but I gotta kind of be careful I'm not bumping into stuff. So, yeah, it wouldn't hurt to multi-stream. No. You can make a poll in the YouTube chat, like an actual poll. Yeah, I can do that. I'll make a poll and see. I haven't ever thought about using Twitch. I thought that was more for like gamers and stuff, and I'm not a gamer, so I don't know that. Maybe that's not the case, but it's something to think about. I would like, to reach as many people as I can. So, I never use Twitch. I hate it. In fact. To be honest, all that said, might as well multi-stream though, huh? Yeah. But I got to figure out single stream. I got to figure out streaming on YouTube and getting it done nicely and professionally before I worry about multi-streaming, I guess. Um, some people are saying that BSD is the future because Linux is controlled by corporations nowadays rather than the community. It's getting worse and less open. Um, yes and no. This is where my whole let me think here. This is BSD is a great option. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a good option for people who want to maintain that open source that and yes, Linux, there is a lot of corporations dipping their hands in Linux now, but we still have as long as we have people that are willing to maintain the kernel, are willing to build the kernel, willing to customize kernel, willing to make their systems, willing to keep that niche stuff alive as opposed to just letting all the corporations take it over. I think Linux will be okay. I might be misunderstanding your statement, but I think as long as we don't lose everybody who started using it because they wanted to have a hand in what's happening, then I think it'll still be. I think there's going to be some growing pains with things and with corporations and stuff like that as Linux gets a larger user share in the desktop space. I mean, you got things like Windows have already taken notice with, WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux, and all that, and releasing the source code for it and trying to play that. Oh, look, we support open source as well. I do see that, but as it grows and the people start and corporations start realizing how many people actually do enjoy this and how many people actually prefer this, yes, I think there's going to be a lot more corporations trying to get involved, and that might not be a bad thing at first, but I think I can see that turning into a bad thing. Again, I'm just going to sit in my corner. I'm small enough to where I can just sit there and watch and just kind of see what happens. If things get ugly, and I don't know. I can't speak to what I would do. I might jump ship and go over and check out BSD. It just all depends on what it does. If it starts becoming locked down like Windows or Mac, and corporations start using it, and it starts to become pay based, and it starts to become telemetry and spyware and all that, then yeah, we're gonna have to address it. But as long as we've got ways around that and people still building projects that are opt in instead of opt out, I think we're okay. So that was kind of convoluted. That might not have even had anything to do with your statement, but his rice was fantastic, and he did most of it himself. Really, I'll have to go check it out, John, because I'm kind of curious. Is he using Arch? What's he using? I thought I saw one of the videos say he was using Mint or something like that, but. What are you using? No, I'm using Nuri, which I was talking about at the beginning of the stream. Nuri it's fantastic. I'm loving it so far. I've just started using it, so I'm not super familiar with it. So I haven't been able to answer a few of the questions some of the guys have had, but it's been spectacular. I haven't had any real super big beef with it. I do have a couple things that is like, man, I got to figure out a workaround for this or that, or figure out how this works. I haven't read through the documentation completely, so I'm kind of figuring out things as I go. But yeah, it's great. Video looks like he's done a lot on his own. And okay, I'm an old guy here who didn't follow YouTube up until I started my own channel. Literally, I didn't watch YouTube really until I started my own channel. I know PewDiePie is a big channel and everything. I never watched him. I didn't even really know much about him until all this stuff about him switching to Linux. What is his channel? What is PewDiePie? What does he do? Can somebody explain that to me? Because I don't know. Let's see here. He got deep into things, and as an old school Linux guy, he even learned a couple of useful things from him. Nice. Used to be mainly for gamers, but it's branched out to be for anything. Okay, so Bazite is it still set up for gaming? Like it's still built for gaming, but it's more tailored as a multi-purpose, but it's still set up for gaming, or did they kind of go away from the gaming thing altogether? And were they around before Nobara, or was Nobara around first? So, como se dice, a semi-based take, to be honest. Linux can still be your HackerMan elitist system. You don't have to use Ubuntu, though, bro. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people complain about the fact that there's so many choices in Linux, and there's so many distributions, and this, that, and the other thing. And people take me saying distribution doesn't matter as, oh, there doesn't need to be all these choices and everything. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. All the choices are great. And those are the guys I'm talking about. As long as we got those guys building those projects, maintaining that stuff, that's awesome. They keep you from having to use like Ubuntu or something like that. Again, and not that, Canonical is iffy, but if Ubuntu's your thing, great, use it. For me personally, though, I don't want to. But as long as we got those guys that are building these distributions, and maintaining them, that's the big thing, maintaining them. There's a lot of choice out there that's not maintained. People are like, oh, have you tried Blueberry Pi Linux? And it's like, what the heck is that? And it's like, oh, I saw this, and they looked at the theming and thought it looked great, but it hasn't been maintained for 7 years. It's like, okay, as long as we got these guys that are building these projects and maintaining these projects and these distributions that are keeping things free and keeping things alive, it's awesome. And as long as that's around, yeah, that's great. Nobody's got to use Ubuntu or Red Hat or whatever, unless you want to. If you want to, by all means. I'm not the guy that's going to sit here and tell you, oh, you shouldn't use Windows and you shouldn't use. Do I use it? No. And do I want to? No. But I'm not going to tell you what to use. You use what is going to work for you, and you use what you need to use to get the job done that you need to get done. That's all there. In the grand scheme of things, that's all an operating system is. It's all a computer is. It's a tool to get something done. If one works better for you, but it's not free and it has telemetry, but the other one ain't going to work for you, it ain't going to work for you. Use what you got to use. I got no beef and I got no issues with somebody using Windows, somebody using Mac, whatever. It doesn't hurt my feelings whatsoever. Me personally, I'll use what I want to use. You use what you want to use. I'm getting behind in my chat here a little bit. Sorry, I'm going to scroll up. Let's see here. It's still open source. Yes, absolutely. Yes, but Ahmed, the one thing I will touch on with the whole open source thing, yes, it is open source. There's no argument about that. What I start to see creeping in, and it's been creeping in for a while, but what I'm starting to see creeping in, and it's kind of like I don't want to say slippery slope because it's not a big landslide thing, but what I see creeping in is on some of these is, like I mentioned earlier, you have to opt out of something instead of opting in for me to install a system that there is like, oh, we're going to send your data unless you opt out, or we're going to collect this unless you opt. There's things in some of these distros, and I shouldn't bring this up because I don't have anything off the top of my head. I do remember reading about a few things, so I'm going to just brush on this very lightly. I've heard and seen that there's opt-out stuff. There should not be opt-out. Everything should be opt-in. It should be plain Jane. And then if you want to send data for your research purposes, opt in. Not, hey, we've got it set up to do this. If you don't want to do that, click this button. Yeah, they make it easy to do it, but I shouldn't have to do it in the first place. That's all I'm saying. So while, yes, it's still open source, they're kind of towing that line where I get that they got to get some information to make improvements if they're not seeing enough in the forums and stuff, but allow people to opt in. Don't make them opt out of it. That's what I'm saying. Let's see here. Jake, I have a question. Do you follow YouTube channels which you find interesting? Programming, Linux, other topics. Can you share your 3 best channels except your channel? My channel is not even anywhere near the top of the list on 3 best channels. So, but thank you. Yeah, I watch some channels. I don't watch a lot of. I do watch some Linux content. My 3 favorite channels that I watch. I would have to say, right now, I love Primogen. I love watching him. He's entertaining. He's fun to watch. I like what he does. Primogen's probably up there. I like Forest Knight. Forest Knight is a good watch. And there's another guy that I try to catch his stream every Sunday, and I've missed it the past few, and he's been busy and everything. But there's this guy Sean Powers, and so those are probably the three that. Well, and I like Bash Bunny. She's good. And then I watch some programming channels every once in a while. So with school, I've been watching a lot more YouTube because I'm doing tutorial videos to kind of back up my my schoolwork. So I've been spending time on YouTube, but watching more of that stuff. But I guess I would have to say my top three that I like to, like if I'm just sitting down, then it would be Primogen. I like Primogen. Forest Knight, and Sean Powers. And then this guy isn't on anymore. He hasn't put out a video in a long time, but I used to watch this guy Tom on the internet. He was great to watch too. I have found this new channel too. Sorry, boy, I'm going on a tangent here. I have found this channel too, new to me, not new, but new to me, called You Suck at Programming, and he does a lot of Bash coverage. And if you've watched my channel, you know how much I enjoy Bash. So, those would probably be my top. If I were talking Linux channels, boy, I don't watch a lot of Linux. I watch, I try to catch Just a Guy Linux when he's streaming. Drew's a good guy. He's fun to watch. You got the big ones that you always scroll past and see their videos and click on them. You got the Linux Cast and the DTs of the world. Those guys always put out good content. Just a Guy Linux is good. I enjoy his stuff for Linux content. Tech Hut. It just kind of depends on what kind of mood I'm in when I sit down. If I have time to sit down and click on some videos. I'm not, let's see here. Let's look more time. Dimitri, I'm not Jake, but if you're looking for good Linux contact, Bread on Penguins. I keep hearing about her. That's a gal, right? She's, I keep hearing about her. I've checked out a video. I think I've checked out a video or two of hers. But yeah, that's her channel. So, yeah, she has some good content. I can agree with that. Like that matters. Like I have to agree. Like I have to agree on that. My opinion is she's great, and that's great. That's my opinion. Everybody's got them. He started on Mint and moved to Arch with Hyperland, but his build is next level. Oh, okay. So he was on Mint, then he moved over to Arch, and he's on Hyperland, of course. So. DDS I found Nuri too, and it does look spectacular. I love Hyperland. I want to support Vaxry, but I dig Nuri. It's cool. Yes, Nuri is awesome. I can't sing its praises enough right now. It has been definitely one of my favorites in a while. Chaos Machines. He used to be a YouTuber who played video games. Okay, that's what I thought. That's kind of what I thought. He was a gamer. He used to be. So what's he doing now? Is he still Is he still gaming, or did he kind of branch out into other stuff? Okay, maybe John Francis is huge gamer and satirist that kind of retired due to the. So he's not even really on anymore. Okay. I hate SteamOS. It's so dumb. I've never tried SteamOS. I never had the need to because, like I said, I'm not a gamer, but I haven't heard of many people that actually just run SteamOS. Ahmed Nasser, I dislike the nerdy elite in the Linux community. The moment I got into the world of Linux, I felt weird, and people kept telling me, why using Linux if you don't work in tech or software? Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. There's those people everywhere. No matter what you get into, there's those elitists that think that, and it stinks. And I've said it before. I think it's one of the main contributing factors to the fact that the Linux desktop hasn't grown as fast as it could, just because well, people are rude, and it sucks. Um, if I'm ever rude to you guys, please, by all means, tell me, let me know, tell me what you think of me, because I just, you got to figure it this way. People are coming to forums because they need help. If they didn't go through all the steps, okay, I get it. Maybe suggest they do it next time politely. It doesn't hurt you to do that. But, you know, you get people that are just like, oh, why didn't you read them? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just, in all that time it took you to make that response to them, you could have just stayed quiet. But, you know, I get it. I get what you're saying. I actually still enjoy using Windows. Awesome. I have to use Windows every day at work. I won't say I enjoy it, but I do use it. It's not the end of the world, and it works for what I need it to do because I can't do what I need it to do on Linux. So Linux Libre is open source. Yeah. I love Linux operating system. It did save my skin on my outdated laptop, but it sucks that they don't get much love. Yeah, the dated stuff it's great for. I mean, you can run it on a potato and it's it works great. So and yeah, it does suck that it doesn't get that much love, but you know, there's those of us that love it enough, I guess, right? Let's see here. Sorry, where am I at? Okay. Do you think that open source and modularity is the future? No to the open source part. I think it's going to be included in the future. I don't think it is the future. If I'm understanding your question correctly. Modularity, kind of break that down for me a little bit, what you're talking about as far as modularity. That could mean a lot of stuff, and I can be kind of simple-minded at times. So let me know what you mean by that, and I'll see if I can give you a better opinion than that. As far as the open source, do I think it's the future? No, I don't. Sadly, I don't see it. If it grows much, I don't see it growing much faster than it is now. I think open source is great, and I think a lot of people think so until it comes to maintaining it. And then I think projects come alive and people think they're great and then they die. And I think the ones that actually stay and make it are few and far between. Now, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a good thing for projects to die. But I think that the open source community would grow and thrive a lot better if it had the support it needs. Everybody likes using open source. Nobody wants to support open source. I'm not saying that to knock people, but everybody enjoys getting the free software and nobody wants to help out supporting the person making the free software. Donation and everything is not nearly where it could be and where it should be for a lot of these guys and what they're expected to do with their project. You got to think a lot of these guys start these open source projects as kind of a love project. Hey, I'm going to do this because it's cool and I'm going to make this great project and everybody's going to see how neat it is and what I can do, and it's going to be crazy. And then you start looking at the bug lists and the issue trackers and all this stuff, and it's like you start seeing what people, oh, you need to fix this and you need to do this and why did you do this and blah blah blah, and I want to use your program but it doesn't work with X oddball hardware, and it's like then they're expected to have this love project that they had that was just a side project that they just wanted to have some fun with, and they're expected to make that their life. Now, if they want to, then by all means they can. But I think there's very few people that intended for that to be the case. And so there has to be support from the community as far as using the program and everything and fixing bugs and all that. But there also has to be support if we want these guys to continue doing what they're doing and be able to afford to live life. You know, there's got to be there's got to be monetary support as well. If we want open source to thrive, it's got to be supported by the community and by the people using it. Let's see here. Oh, did I fall way behind here? Okay, you suck at programming. Yeah, he's really good. Dave Eddy, yeah, he is funny. He is a great guy. I've enjoyed his channel immensely. Ahmad Nasir, my top 3 currently not necessarily Linux YouTubers. 3 blue, 1 brown, Posey and Louis Rossman. Okay, I've heard of one of those. Rossman I've heard of, and I've watched a couple times. 3 blue, 1 brown, and Posey I haven't. For me, channel is one of the best channels. Oh, well, thank you, Dimitri. I really appreciate that. That means a lot, considering my release schedule is horrible, and my time between videos is crazy long and everything, and I feel like everything's unpolished. I appreciate that. I do appreciate the fact that you say that. And even if it is just paying me some lip service, that made my day, but I appreciate it. I was just going to suggest Yusuck. He's super deep into things, and it gets a little overwhelming, but I always like, yeah, he's awesome. And like I said, I love doing Bash. I call myself a novice. I'm not quite a novice. I wouldn't say I'm not an expert by any means when it comes to Bash scripting, but I love watching his stuff because he's done some amazing things with it. And you sit there and watch and it's like, holy cow, I didn't know you could do that. And so it's fun to watch because there's really not a whole lot of Bash content out there. I'm trying to get to a point, and once school is done and over with, I've got about a year left. Once school is done and over with, I'm hoping to be able to actually sit down and really build this channel even more. And I really want to get deep into Bash because everybody is so quick to jump ship away from the Bash shell, and it's amazing. And not just Bash, not just the shell, the language, writing Bash scripts and everything. It's just fun, and I think people disregard it when they shouldn't. I highly recommend them, especially Posey. I have never seen content. I'll make a note of that, and I'll have to look that channel up. Another great old school Linux channel is Veronica Explains. Yes, I do watch her every once in a while. She's got a lot of good information. She's got a lot of good stuff on her channel. New Shell. I haven't tried New Shell. I've looked at it, but I haven't tried it. Okay, modularity is in upgradability and repairability in both software and hardware. So you're talking hardware-wise, kind of like the framework where you can modularize it, take stuff apart, put it back together. Yeah, I see that becoming more of a thing. As far as laptops go, I'm not sure about everything. Maybe outside of America. America seems to be kind of a buy it. Once it breaks, throw it away and get something new, which is horrible. It's really a wasteful mentality to have. But so I don't know how great that will play out here. But yes, I do think modularity. Boy, I'm struggling. I think that would be is going to grow in the future. Let's just put it that way. Torsten, you tried New Shell, wouldn't or couldn't use it in general use every day. My terminal, I'd totally use it for some nice output scripts. Okay. Let's see here. I forgot about no single channel can make me a good programmer, but it can help with the fundamentals, especially if combined with good books. Right now, it's hard to find truly valuable info without all the fluff. Hey, Dimitri, what are you studying? So no single channel can make me a good programmer. What are you studying? What language or what are you watching tutorials on or reading books about? That sorry, I'm just scrolling back here, making sure I didn't miss anybody. How long have we been on here? It's 4:30. That's been a minute, huh? Oh, I was going to show you guys one last thing before I get off here. I was going to show you guys my I'm running out of, it's getting close to my wife getting off work and getting dinner for everybody. So I was going to show you. You want to switch to Kotlin? Okay. I'm in school right now for software engineering degree, and I'm studying Java. Any tips? They seem to not focus on Java so much and focus on Spring Boot, and so they really hammered in a few of the very basic ideas of Java and then just jumped straight into Spring Boot, and it really kind of left me scratching my head. So is that normal? I'm not a frameworks person, so is kind of Spring Boot the way to go as opposed to actually learning Java? But again, I was going to show you guys my fuzzy file manager. So let's cd into FZFM. Let's clear the screen. So if you guys know, I'll let's see here. Jump in here, and I am building this terminal file manager, even though we don't need a terminal file manager. We've got plenty of them, but just for the fun of it, you guys know I've been building my own. So I have this FZF script that is a terminal file manager that I'm using. So this is basically the script right here. It's 155 lines long, so it's not super long. This is the main portion of it. I got some functions up here that do some stuff like image view and file view, copy files, move files, rename files. So we've got that stuff. And then if we do an ls, I've got create dir, which is creates directories. I can create files, rename.sh, you can copy, remove. So anyway, I'm getting all this functionality and trying to figure out what other functionality I want. But let's go ahead and take a look at it, see where we're at now. So we've got fzfm.sh and hit enter. So this is basically it. It's FZF. But you can see you can traverse up and down and everything. And I've put videos out on this, so you guys probably already know all this. But so right now we're in my home Jake directory. And if I scroll down to images and over here to pictures and come down, you can see I can, well, I used to have image. There we go. Those are MP4s. That's why. I've got image view, wallpapers and stuff like that, but now I have actually added functionality. Oh, and I've also got so if I do alt up and down, it traverses the preview window there. But I've also added the ability to copy. So let's go to let's see here. Let's see what I thought I had some. Okay, right there, my new file. So let's copy my new file. So if I hit Alt-C, and then I hit, if we go over here into temp copied, you can see it copied it to this location. And then if we go to whatever directory we want to go to, so let's go home, and let's go into, I don't know, let's come all the way down here because I think I have a test directory. Testdir2, and let's go in there, and I hit Alt-P. It pastes the file, and it gives it the copy extension because I don't want it to override anything. I'm still working on that stuff, but I can move it if I hit Alt-M, and then come back over, and let's go into local, and we'll hit Alt-P again. And now I've got new file.copy.copy. So this some things I got to fix. It adds the copy on every time you copy and paste it. But so I gotta fix that. But I also have, we can create a file. So if I do Alt-D, let's create a directory. So the directory name, let's say my second directory, and hit enter. Now if we search, we have my second directory right there. So then we can do the same way with the file. If we hit Alt-F, you can enter your file name down there. Now if we want to rename a file, let's come down here and go to one of these, mynewfile.txt. So let's do Alt-R and rename mynewfile.txt to this sucks, and hit enter. And now we have file this sucks. So I've got a lot of functionality added onto this. You can do a little bit more now with it. You can copy multiple items. So if you want to copy and move multiple things, so you can just hit space and select multiple items, and it'll copy them all and then paste them all somewhere else. So it's coming along. It's something that I've been working on when I get a spare moment. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. So you hit escape and it closes out, and it deletes that temp copied directory, so that way you don't start writing a bunch of stuff up down there. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's what I've got going on with that. That's kind of the main project I'm working on right now when I have time to do something on my own. But so yeah, so Spring can help, but as any frameworks, it hide a lot of things which is good to understand before using. Yeah, that's what I hear. Um, that's what I don't like about frameworks. I want to be able to use Java, not use a framework. But anyway, so I think I'm going to have to call it a day. I've really enjoyed talking with you guys today. I appreciate all the questions. I appreciate all you guys coming and hanging out with me. And hopefully, I can get going on this and get a little more professional and get a release schedule out a little more. And I don't know um, when exactly. I don't know if I should. I won't say anything yet. I'll talk about it later. But yeah. So I'm gonna have to get going. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys enjoyed having a chat with me. I enjoy you guys all being here. You guys all enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, and God bless you guys. You guys have a great day. Love y'all.